Welcome, y'all. Thank you for joining us for our TAASA Talks, the 88th. We're so excited to bring this back to you this legislative session. Last year, we tried it for the first time, and I did get tons of emails and questions and calls to say, hey, are y'all going to do that again? It was very informal. They liked the fact that it was informal and also informative. So we chose this format to satisfy the membership and all of our partners' requests for more information on the legislative process, one, two, update to TASA's bills and how they're getting through that process, and then three, how to get involved. So first and foremost, though, I wanted to remind everybody that our main priority is to educate those at the Ledge about the amazing work that's being done around our great state to provide services to sexual assault survivors, as well as to make them aware of the gap so they can make an informed decision when they're at all those tables making all the wonderful decisions for our state. So now let's meet the amazing team that will lead the charge this legislative session. So I'll hand it over to Liz.
Hi, everyone. My name is Liz Boyce, and I'm the Director of Policy and Legal here at TAASA. And I'm so excited to introduce you to our two very brand new team members, our Senior Policy Advisor, Ashley Brooks, and our Policy Advisor, Samantha Pissick. Very, very brand new, just started this month. And Ashley's been with us since March. Is that right, Ashley?
Yes.
Thank you. So y'all say hello, and we're here to answer any questions you guys might have.
We're very excited about those two because I have to say, y'all, I have never worked at the Ledge, obviously, and Liz hasn't either. And, so it's really nice to have two staff members who worked on that other side of the spectrum when it comes to this. It's just amazing the insight that we get from them. And it helps with the strategy when we're trying to provide that information and that education to those, to the Ledge members as they're making decisions.
Yes, and Ashley has come to us from the Senate side primarily. Samantha has experience most recently in the House. And so, we've got both sides covered. So it's really great. And we're really excited to hit the ground running this session.
All right, so we'll get started with the budget. That's what everybody, that's the thing that's kind of like my focus, although we all work collectively and collaboratively together. And then also Shannon Gangerty, who's our policy consultant. I think that's the term that we use now. She is just this rock star, amazing person. But as far as the budget, as you all know, we focus on the SAPCS line item. It's in Article 1. I know I'm getting in the weeds there, but that's basically the money that's the only money dedicated in the budget to adult sexual assault survivors. That is the only place where that is. So that's something that we focus on and that we try to ensure that we do an increase because we just know that it is absolutely needed. So we, one, asked for an increase for the SAPCS line item in the budget. Two, we finally did ask for a slight increase for TASA's line item. I know since I've been CEO, we've had two legislative sessions. I think, God, I'm losing count. Anyway, we've never asked for money for TASA because we always wanted to focus on the rape crisis centers. But we were advised that this is the year to do that. So we did. And then the third thing is rural pilot project. So for those of you that know me, know that I'm from rural Texas. Rural Texas is very close to my heart. Growing up there, didn't realize all the resources that were just like up the road in Austin. I didn't grow up far from Austin, but it was a whole nother world because it was rural and we didn't ever make it to Austin. So that's always at the forefront of my mind when I'm doing all the things. So we are asking for some money for rural pilot projects to ensure that survivors in those areas that live in those counties where there is not a sexual assault program, that they get the same quality and same level and access to services. So we're very excited about that. So everything's looking good so far. We don't have any definitive answers. What I do know is that the folks that are working on the budget on both the House and the Senate side have shown wonderful, like the indicators are there that everything's looking good, but we know from the past that they are dedicated and that they do care about our work because they've been very good to us the past few legislative sessions. And here's to having that one more legislative session where we've got a really great, where the budget goes our way. But right now, all indicators look really good.
So we do have some good news. One of our priority pieces of legislation was recently filed. This bill aims to remedy the institutional barriers and poor treatment that many survivors of sexual assault face by those working in the criminal justice system. At TAASA, we continue to hear from survivors who were not informed about the status of their case in a timely manner, nor were they consulted when their case was dismissed or pled to a lower offense. And as many of us know, this re-traumatizes victims and leads to less engagement from victims as a whole. And while the Texas Constitution states that crime victims have a right to confer with the representative of the prosecutor's office, lots of times that doesn't happen, or if it does, it's not in a timely manner. So in efforts to address this issue, we are working with Senator Hinojosa's office on a bill that requires prosecuting attorneys to confer with victims of sexual assault or a related sex crime about the disposition of the offense, including sharing the victim's views regarding a decision, say, to file charges, dismissal of charges, use of pretrial intervention programs, or a plea bargain agreement. Additionally, the bill adds a provision to require law enforcement to inform victims of sexual assault about the statewide rape kit tracking system and how victims can track their rape kits and receive updates regarding any related evidence. Senator Hosa filed this bill just last week. The bill number is SB 409. And if anyone has any personal experience which speaks to the goals of this bill, or they know of someone who has, and you or they are potentially interested in testifying in support of this bill, please reach out to our policy team, because we would love to have your support and for you to come down to the legislature and help us get this bill passed.
Absolutely. Thank you for talking about that, Ashley. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have talked to survivors who just are embittered by the whole criminal justice process. And, it's hard for any victim, for sure. But for a sexual assault survivor who has already suffered the indignities that is just, part of that crime, to then be re-traumatized over and over again, to be dismissed, to not be included, their views be listened to as far as whether a plea bargain is offered or a case is dismissed, it's just another barrier to them seeing justice. And so we really, really wanted to, propose something that would keep them more into the loop of this process and basically make sure that they're not, their views, their preferences, what they want in the case is not being ignored. Too often we've heard about survivors who learn about what happens in their case from the news, if this is a particular high profile case, and it's not a trauma informed way to communicate to our survivors. So we're hopeful that this is going to get through the process, and we're very excited about its prospects. And I wanted to just speak a little bit about our task force recommendations. So some of y'all might be familiar with HB 1590 back from 2019, and it was a bill that was authored by Representative Donna Howard. And she is a huge champion for sexual assault survivors. And this was something that she brought, knowing that really we need a statewide conversation around sexual assault response. And this has been going now for, this is our third year. It's very exciting. We've got a lot of state representation, state agency representation. And we've really certainly proposed a lot of really solid policy recommendations that last session actually got through. And this session we are teeing up to try to get the same track record. So one of those recommendations I wanted to share with you was simply the reauthorization bill. And that what that means is the task force was initially set up to expire in 2023, which, as you know, is now. So at the end of this year, it was set to go away, and we don't want that to happen. So what we've got is a bill, again, that's planning to be sponsored by Donna Howard, in the House, and it's the bill has been drafted already by Legislative Council. It has not yet been filed. We're waiting for that, but it's the closest in the process as far as that goes. So hopefully it'll get filed soon, and not only is it going to basically ask for that expiration date to be repealed, but also that we add on some more statutory members to the task force. Right now, it's pretty heavy on state agencies as well as TAASA and as well as Children's Advocacy Centers of Texas as the advocacy groups that speak for survivors. And certainly we do all the time speak up for survivors. But actually, there's no survivor that's actually specifically in the bill to be a statutory member. So we wanted to, even though we do have survivors sitting on the task force, we wanted to make sure that that was in code and that that's something that we can rely on for years to come, that when we're dead and gone, when Rose and I have retired, that there will be, in fact, a requirement that there be a survivor on that task force. So those are some pieces of that bill, and we feel like it's real common sense legislation and shouldn't be real controversial, and have a lot of hopes for it to be passed. And in future TAASA Talks, we can get more into other policy recommendations that are going to be made through that process once they're filed. So time will tell. We'll get there soon. So I'll let Samantha speak a little bit about how you, the interested community member, can get involved.
Yeah, thank you, Liz. So we are having a Capitol Day, February 16th, and we really hope everyone can come out and get some engagement there. Opening will start at St. David's Church downtown, and that'll be at 9 a.m. So we'll have some opening remarks and everything, and then we'll do a nice march to the Capitol, the South Steps, and that's where we'll have a press conference at noon. So, hopefully y'all can come out for that. Afterwards, we'll be having a meet with legislatures and going over our TAASA priorities. So it's going to be really important to have you guys come out, and then make sure to register at the code at the bottom if you can.
Awesome, y'all. Is there anything that we left out? I'm very excited about this. I don't know about y'all. I know that y'all are about to be all over the Capitol and working with our partners, working with other organizations. But if we have left anything out, if there is a question in your mind, even a doubt in your mind about any of this, please, policy@taasa.org. Again, we are in this really unique position for the first time to have two of our policy advisors to be someone from the Capitol. So, wow, I mean, all that insight and perspective that we all can learn from. They're here to answer those questions, and they're here to help us get our bills through. But please do. And also, I just wanted to say, although we have a new group here, we're very excited about everything. Our process hasn't changed. We started the same way with making sure and had focus groups last summer to make sure that we are connected to what's happening on the ground. It's very important to me. It's very important to TAASA that the things that we go after during legislative session are rooted from what you all are telling us is needed. It's not coming from Rose Luna sitting in Austin, Texas, what she thinks is needed, or Liz Boyce or Ashley or Samantha. It is Rose, Liz, Ashley, and Samantha carrying your voice to the Capitol, because that's our job, and to make sure that all those nuances and intricacies are heard. So when they're making decisions. So just wanted to say that. And I am very thankful to all of y'all for listening. And please contact us if you have any questions. And until then, stay tuned to the next TAASA Talks. Is there anything else y'all want to add before we sign off?
I would just like to say that if you have any interest in getting updates electronically or through your email about what we're doing policy-wise, please email us at the email address below and ask to be added to our listserv.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Thank y'all so much, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks.